Okay, we are hacking my Beth Blouse pattern today and recreating this Pinterest look. I am so excited. I've had this pinned for years, but I thought about making it last year when I released my Rosamond blouse because it has a big collar, and I was like, oh, you could hack that pretty easily. And then I was like really thinking about it, and I was like, oh, but then I also have to hack the neckline and do a few things, and ultimately decided to wait. Now that I've released Beth, I was like, this is the perfect time. I can hack Beth into making this shirt, and as you can see, it's worked. So I'm very happy that it worked, and I'm very happy to share the collar pattern. This collar pattern piece is a free download down in the description. So go ahead and make sure you have that. Go ahead and make sure that you have Beth. You could use a different blouse pattern that you already have if you would like. I just can't guarantee that it will line up with the neckline, so you may have to do some hacking there. I have made sure that this matches up with the neckline. It's graded in all 15 sizes, so it should be a seamless experience if you are using the Beth pattern. Alternatively, you could of course hack this. This will not be included in the video, but you could hack this collar, just sew it by itself and then add bias binding and create like a removable collar situation. Not in the video, but be creative. That's the amazing part about sewing. So let's just talk over a few details. So the original Beth pattern has tons of frills, tons of ruffles, right? We've got that Peter Pan collar with the ruffles. We've got the sleeves with the ruffles and the sleeve band. We've got the front of it going down has the optional ruffle. I removed all ruffles, okay? All ruffles are gone, and the sleeve bands are gone, and the Peter Pan collar are gone. So when you're cutting out the Beth blouse, you're not gonna cut any of that stuff out. You're just gonna be cutting out the front bodice, the back bodice, the plackets, the bias binding, and then you're going to be lengthening your sleeve by 3 inches, which equals about 7.5 centimeters. Okay, so that's what you're going to be cutting out, and you're going to be cutting out 2 of these collar pieces. This collar piece is on the fold. And in the video, you'll see that I actually did do one with an extra centimeter seam allowance and sewed it together just to reduce on fabric. I'll explain later, don't stress. But you're gonna cut out 2 for the stability. I did that so that I had the drape of the fabric without it being too stiff. Like if I added interfacing, I just felt like it was gonna look very stiff. Now, however you may enjoy that look, so you could add a layer of interfacing, but I'm not gonna be showing you that in the video because I anticipate you will be doing what I did, because I feel like I have a very thin and drapey fabric and it turned out beautifully. However, of course, do what you feel like is right, do whatever you feel like is right for your fabric. You could just fuse interfacing to the entire collar or just along the seams. Whatever works best for you, whatever works best for your machine and your fabric, of course do that. So, like I said, all you're going to need is the front bodice pieces, back bodice pieces, the placket pieces, the bias binding, the sleeves with 3 inches or 7.5 centimeters increased on the bottom. And with the sleeves, I'll also show you how to do this in a moment, but you will also be removing about 2 centimeters from the middle of the sleeve to reduce the gathers. I will show you that in just a moment. And then you will need to cut out 2 of your collar pieces. Once you have done all of that, you're going to join me in the sewing room, and I'm going to teach you how to assemble this collar, and I'm going to show you how I did the scallops. The scallops are a stitch on my machine. Your machine may or may not have it. If you do not have that option, what you can do is you can sew the 2 collar pieces with right sides together and then cut all corners and flip right side out. I don't have that in the tutorial because I'm specifically showing you how to create this look, but that is an option, like I said. So once again, if you don't have the scallop stitch and you still want to make this collar shape, you would just sew the 2 collar pieces with right sides together, trim seam allowances, cut corners, turn right side out, and then you would still assemble it the same. Now, another thing in this tutorial I will not be doing is I will not be showing you how to assemble the entire blouse. That information is already in another tutorial, which I'll link below, the Beth Blouse tutorial, and in the instruction booklet. So what I will be showing you is just how this collar changes and the hacks pertain to the blouse. You're gonna go ahead and follow the instructions as best as possible. And then when it comes to assembling the collar in the pattern, you would switch it over for this collar. And then when it comes to assembling the sleeves, you're just going to eliminate doing the sleeve band, you're going to eliminate doing the sleeve ruffle, and instead you will be doing a double folded hem, just like you will double fold hem the bottom of the blouse. All the exact same. So I will try to point all of that out as we are going throughout. I will talk you through the process. Of course, if you have any questions, please leave them in the description below or in the comment section below, and I will do the best that I can to answer everything. But make sure that you grab this collar, this free collar pattern, and meet me over in your sewing space, and let's create this. Now that you have downloaded the pattern, you're going to cut it out. Or you could use the projector, of course, but I'm using the A4 US letter files, and so I'm going to go ahead and cut these up. This is my preferred method. I cut two sides and then glue them together. You're going to see a couple other colors on here. This is some other color options that I was testing. I may or may not release those. Let me know in the comments if you're interested. They were some other ruffle collar options, but ultimately decided that this was the collar I really wanted to share for now. So if you see other colors on here that look different than your printout, that is why. Make sure that when you're printing that it will just make it easier if you go to Adobe Acrobat and just print your size. So if you're making size 3 like I was, then you're gonna go ahead and just print size 3. So once you've got all of that assembled together, there's mine, it's finally come together, and you're gonna go ahead and cut it out with your paper scissors. And so go ahead and cut this out with your scissors. Like I said, it says color C on there because I was thinking of this as an option, but this is the only collar pattern that you should have received when you downloaded the file. And this one is specifically to hack and to copy this Pinterest inspo that we have. So go ahead and cut it out. You'll also see on there that I have 2 grain line options. That's because if you're cutting it on the fold, you would cut with 1 grain line, and if you weren't, you could use the other. That's kind of your options. Now I'm going ahead and cutting out the rest of my blouse. This is the part I want you to watch right here. Watch. Pinch. Okay, I am pinching out about 2 centimeters out of the center of my sleeve, and that is what I did in order to get less gathers. And if you're really worried about it, if you want to take out more, just make sure that you measure that top curved area to make sure that it sits and fits in the same measurements as your arm's eye. But if you just do 2 centimeters, you're going to be just fine. That's what I did, and I had more than enough room. And right here you can see I'm also just using my table to measure that 3 inches. You could also cut on the shortened and lengthened sides and expand 3 inches, but I just kind of guesstimated because I wasn't too worried about it. So I could see on the side seams that they were the same length, and that's what I did. Cutting out the rest of my bodices, my back bodice piece is on the fold, my front bodice piece is not. You can see that I also have my front placket, and I'm just doing everything like I can on the grain. Make sure you iron your fabric first, especially if you use this fabric just like me. It's gorgeous, but it needs to be ironed before you cut it out, or it will be a shifty nightmare. Get all your notches, and you should be ready to go. All right, now I'm doing my collar piece. So this one will be on the outside. I'm doing this one on the fold. I've pinned around really good, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut it out. There are notches along the neckline. The 2 notches represent the back. There's 1 notch in the middle that represents the shoulder seam, and then there is 1 other notch in the front that represents the front bodice. Now, I wasn't running low on fabric, but I didn't want to waste a lot of fabric. And so this one I didn't cut on the fold. I did keep it on the same grain line. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add about 1 centimeter of a seam allowance where it says to cut on the fold. Sorry, my shoulder got in the way, but there you go. You can kind of see I added about 1 centimeter. I just guesstimated because I know pretty accurately what a centimeter is, but I will double check the measurements in just a second. I went a little bigger rather than smaller. Of course, if you wanted to do a different seam allowance, then you would just add that much for the seam allowance. Make sure you get your notches. And then right here, you're gonna see, I'm going to double check, see it's a little wonky. I am evening it out, making sure it's flat. And I have checked that it is indeed a little bit bigger than a centimeter, but I'm gonna fix that. So this is just a process. I love hacking patterns because it feels a little bit more free and a little bit more flowing. I've sewed those together, the seam allowance, already for you guys. You can see right there, I have folded and pressed it open. And I'm going to use this one on the bottom. So you're not going to see that seam. It's going to be hidden underneath the top layer. I wanted to have it there so I could save fabric, but I don't want you guys to see it. So I'm going to take the other piece that I did cut on the fold and I'm going to lay it on top. And I have wrong sides together. I know it's really hard to see in this fabric, it's nearly impossible to see in real life as well. But just know that the wrong sides are together. If you're using a linen like this, honestly, if you had the wrong side up, it wouldn't be a big deal because you probably can't tell. But of course, if you have a printed fabric, for sure, make sure that those wrong sides are together. I'm lining up all of my notches and my seams, and you can see that because this fabric is a little shifty, it's not totally perfect. So I'm doing the best I can to line everything up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin around that neckline and I'm going to baste it. So the neckline is just teeny bit off. So what I'll do is I will continue to baste it and trim off the weird excess fabric. Then I'll take it to the ironing board and iron it flat before I begin sewing. I've now pinned around all of those edges and I'm ready to do the scalloped edges. So go ahead and look at your machine, see if you have it, or pick a different decorative stitch, whatever you are thinking. Make sure it's got a close zigzag essentially. If it doesn't, then it will fray. Also make sure you switch out your thread color if you want a contrasting stitch like I did. I switched mine out for black. And I know it's sped up really fast, but I'm just feeding it in. You can see my fabric. I'm not moving my fabric like right and left. I'm just letting the feed dogs do as they will. Practice some corners. I've practiced a lot and I still mess up, but practice your corners. And once you're done going all the way around the edges of the collar, you will trim. I get as close to the threads as I possibly can, but I do not cut the threads. So these little handy dandy scissors are amazing for this because they're really small. And then slowly you're gonna go around and cut out these scallops. Get as close to the stitching as you can without cutting the stitching. If you cut into the stitching, don't stress, it'll probably be okay, but you might wanna go over it with a zigzag again, or just carefully hand stitch over it. I haven't had any issues. Once you've done that, you've got your bodice. Now, I kind of went ahead and finished off a lot of my bodice before adding it to the collar, which I ended up regretting because this panel right here that I'm pointing at, you're not supposed to sew that down. It's just basted, so I ended up fixing it. But basically, you're gonna get your blouse to where you need to be on page... All right, so you've caught me. I 100% accidentally did this all out of order because I was trying to go quickly, and now you can see that I did it wrong. So all of the collar things should happen from the Beth blouse. If you look at the instruction booklets, it tells you to do everything on page 22 and 23. You're gonna replace page 22 and 23 with this tutorial by making the collar in the way that I just showed you, and then you're gonna attach the collar as you are supposed to in the instruction booklet. Once you've gotten back to page 30, instead of sewing down the placket with a normal stitch, although you could, I did it with a basting stitch. I think it's totally up to you, but I didn't remove the basting stitch. I just didn't want it super visible because I instead covered that stitch later with the decorative stitch. But I wanna make sure that you do that straight stitch first. If your fabric doesn't show it very good, then just leave the stitch in there, but if it does, you might wanna remove it. So basting stitch is probably preferable. Add your decorative stitches. They are not functional. 100% decorative right here. They are not being used as a hem like they are on the collar. And I interfaced that section just to make sure it was extra sturdy. I love how it turned out. I did not trim any of that off either. I also didn't trim off any of these scallops. I loved how it looked like that. Then I went ahead and finished the blouse as is. I added the buttonholes and the buttons. I did all the hems as I was supposed to in the instructions. I didn't do it out of order, right? Just kidding. I totally did. But it's okay, it worked out. I definitely wish though that I had followed the instructions properly because you get such a cleaner finish when you do the binding and placket in the right order. So anyway, tell me what you think. This is the original Pinterest photo and this is the photo that we ended up with. Don't mind the weird finger, but I think we kind of hit it perfectly.